Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Fiery FedEx crash. A driver is being treated after an early morning crash off I-540. We're live on the scene where the investigation is happening.
Plus, rezoning revival. It's been 2 years since a developer pulled the plug on a North Hills development. Now it appears Kane Realty is ready to restart tower talks.
And it feels pretty good out here right now, but some dangerous heat is headed our way. I'll show you when those numbers start to climb across the area coming up.
The fire is out, but the investigation is far from over. Police and fire investigators are searching for the cause of an early morning crash off I-540 in Knightdale. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. What a scene that was. It happened around 5 this morning. The truck veered off the road, drove down a hill, crashed on Linwood Road and caught on fire. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live on Linwood Road right now with reaction from neighbors who heard all this. Flynn.
Yeah, Jeff, that's right. Several neighbors have been coming out of their homes to see the scene here on Linwood Road. You can see a heavy investigator presence remains with several firefighters and police on scene right now on Linwood Road. Investigators have been here for hours treating any hot spots on the truck and clearing any downed trees. Take a look. This was the scene earlier this morning. You can see heavy smoke billowing from the truck. Since then, crews have brought in a crane to get that truck upright, and the driver, we're told, was injured and taken to the hospital. Investigators expect Linwood Road between Pine Acres Court and the Planters Walk Pool to be closed for several hours more. I spoke with a woman who lives nearby who was able to see the damage while walking on a trail close to the crash site.
I could see broken trees on the side, so it looks like he missed the bridge, but he came down the embankment, across the street, and into the woods.
We're told the FedEx driver was traveling eastbound on I-540 when this happened. It does not appear that traffic on 540 is being impacted right now. We did reach out to FedEx. A spokesperson for the company said people whose packages were on that truck and were potentially damaged are being notified of any possible damages. The company, however, did not answer our questions about how many packages were on the truck and where that truck was going. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Knightdale.
Police in Fayetteville, meantime, are searching for the driver who crashed into a church. That's the wildest video you'll see today. This is from the Berean Baptist Church on Glensford Drive. It shows a white car lose control and slam into the church entrance. The church says no one was hurt. The video appears to show the driver right at the very end running away from that scene. No reports on if he's been captured.
Just wow, it looks like out of a movie, right? Doesn't it? The humidity is down just a tad and temperatures are close to normal. Meteorologist Amy Wilmot thought she'd take advantage of the WRAL weather patio before the sweltering heat returns. Amy, I also stepped outside for a bit and it really felt nice.
It does. I mean, it's all relative. Based on what we've had over the last several weeks, it feels pretty nice outside, a good day for lunch outside. And yes, I thought I'd better come out here while I can because we have some dangerous heat that is going to head our way for the end of the week and into the weekend. It's going to be pretty intense heat. The heat index could get up to 110 over the weekend. And this is really going to start Friday and continue all the way through Tuesday, so it'll be an extended period of time. The reason it feels okay outside is because dew points are in the 60s for most of us. 67 is the current dew point in Raleigh and in Durham, 63 in Roxborough, a little bit more muggy down to the south and east of the Triangle. But it's 86 degrees right now in Raleigh. It feels like 90, so it's really not that bad for this time of year. 87 currently in Fayetteville with a heat index of 91. It feels like 93 right now in Clinton. So it's hot, but it's tolerable with the humidity that we have. High temperatures today will be near normal, low 90s for afternoon highs, and then we'll be back down into the 80s starting around 5 o'clock this evening. So a pretty nice day to get outside. Temperatures will be in the low 90s across the area, but with those lower dew point values, it doesn't feel that bad. The heat index is pretty close to the actual actual air temperature. But a huge ridge of high pressure builds in for the weekend. Temperatures could reach 100. Heat advisories are likely. These are the actual highs. 96 Friday, a pair of 99s for Saturday and Sunday, 98 on Monday. I'll talk more about how it will feel over the weekend coming up.
Amy, thanks. Tower talks are back on the table in North Hills. Developer Kane Realty hopes this time the city of Raleigh approves its rezoning request to build towers nearly 40 stories high. WRAL's Sean Gallagher is live off Six Forks Road, where neighbors defeated the effort the first time around. Sean, any changes with this proposal from the developers?
Yeah, it's really development deja vu as far as we can see from the early plans, but the focus is really right here at Six Forks near Lassiter Mill Road, where they are looking at a variety of different buildings, 4 different buildings that could go up to 37 stories high, totally changing the landscape of the area here. But the area that's in the crosshairs, the intersection of Six Forks and Lassiter Mill, as well as some property down the road. Kane sent letters to nearby residents showing the proposed rezoning seeks increases up to 12, 20, and 40 stories here. You may remember Kane trying to do that back in 2021. After 2 years, it withdrew its application, though. It was something Larry Helfand with the Midtown Citizens Advisory Council opposed then and still does now.
I don't see how you can have no density when you're adding new buildings, multiple floors, more people. You're going to build without having people within the buildings. You're going to have people have to get to their work. They have to somehow get to North Hills. I don't see how you can claim that there's no density increase, there's no further impact on the area.
And Helfand says he's not opposed to growth here, but needs to see more done to help with congestion. Now, I have reached out to Kane Realty with some questions about what these rezoning plans involve and if there's a timeline at all at this point. They say they don't have anybody that can comment today, that they will save their comments for an open house that's scheduled for next Wednesday here in the North Hills neighborhood, where they will share more plans and get community feedback. In Raleigh, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
We're working to learn the name of the person who died after crashing in a yard in downtown Clayton. It happened shortly after 12:30 this morning near East Front Street. Clayton police confirmed that the driver died as a result of the crash. No one else was in the vehicle. No word yet on what happened in the moments leading to the crash.
Raleigh police are looking for the person or people responsible for shooting at apartments. WRAL Breaking News Tracker was first on that scene at Oak City Apartments on Calvary Drive. And Raleigh police received a call about shots fired around midnight. They say a person was shooting at the complex from a Food Lion parking lot nearby. One of the bullets hit an apartment unit that had at least one person inside. No one was hurt. The formal investigation into the deadly 4th of July's flooding disaster in Texas begins today. At least 135 people were killed, including more than 100 in Kerr County, where children's camps and RV parks were situated right along the Guadalupe River. Officials plan to examine how response teams handled the emergency. Investigators will also focus on whether the flooding disaster could have been prevented. The hearing will include testimony from officials in charge of managing regional rivers, as well as the head of the state's Division of Emergency Management.
Tributes are pouring in for the godfather of heavy metal and reality TV star Ozzy Osbourne. He died yesterday at the age of 76. A memorial is growing at the Black Sabbath Bridge in Ozzy's hometown of Birmingham, England. Here in America, flowers adorn Osbourne's star on the Walk of Fame. NBC's Allie Spilliards introduces us to a North Texas band with Ozzy Osbourne's namesake and how they are paying tribute to the performer.
Known as the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne not only pioneered the heavy metal genre, he inspired a generation who would become lifelong fans.
He's been my idol my whole life. I wanted to be him. I wanted to be like him.
Robert Shame Fortier's childhood dream came true 17 years ago when he formed the Blizzard of Oz, a Dallas-based Ozzy tribute band. The group is one of countless across the nation who now share their love for the music Fortier discovered at 14, when Osbourne rose to fame as the frontman for Black Sabbath.
They brought the true meaning of heavy metal, to the people. The words that were coming out of that band just intrigued everybody. People wanted to know Why are they singing about this? What are they singing about?
Osbourne's career in the band and later as a solo artist stretched nearly 6 decades. He struggled with drugs and alcohol for years, and later a battle with Parkinson's disease. Still, as fans mourn his death, they remember the world he opened for them.
He changed my life. He changed who I was.
A legacy they hope to uphold.
I'm going to go on Saturday night, and we're going to kick it, and people are going to love it, just like they always do.
And that was Allie Spilliards. Osbourne leaves behind his wife, Sharon, their 3 children, Jack, Kelly, and Amy, and also 3 children from his first marriage. His cause of death has not been released.
Next at noon, impact statements. Friends, survivors, and family members confront the Idaho College student murderer.
Also, pay to not play on social media, that is. The new plan to get kids to put their phones down.
Plus, a Raleigh police motorcycle is down in the street, how the officer is doing, and details of how this crash happened.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000, sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
Eric Menendez is reportedly battling a serious medical condition. The news comes just weeks before the convicted killer is set to appear at a parole hearing with his brother. Eric and Lyle Menendez are both serving life sentences for the 1989 murders of their parents. According to the California Department of Corrections, Eric was transported to a medical facility last week, and he remains in fair condition. The brothers have their first parole hearing next month. Breaking news, it is sentencing day for confessed killer Bryan Kohberger. Right now, the judge is hearing victim impact statements from the families of 4 University of Idaho students. A judge is expected to sentence him to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility for parole or appeal. This week, President Trump urged the judge to force Kohberger to explain why he committed these heinous crimes. However, experts say it's unlikely at this point a judge will do that. Michelle McConaughey is in the WRAL Live Center listening to those victims' impact statements. Michelle.
Yeah, Renee, it's been really emotional in court. This is actually a live look right now at the sentencing here. Family members have been speaking. Kaylee Gonsalves' father, Steve, he was the first to speak to Kohberger directly, saying, "You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed." The Mogan family attorney, they also read a statement from Madison Mogan's mother. She declined to address Kohberger directly, but said the family might never forgive him for what he did. Her father described his only child as the only great thing that I ever really did and the only thing I am proud of. We also heard from the 2 surviving roommates that were in the house the night of that murder. Bethany Funk describing the day that she found her 4 friends died as the worst day of my life. And Dylan Mortensen, that was the other surviving roommate, saying he may have shattered parts of me, but I am still putting myself back together.
Michelle, thanks for that. Police standoff, meantime, with a man holding a knife at a federal building in Chicago ended after nearly 9 hours. Police say the man tried to get past security but was stopped. The building was placed on lockdown. Everyone inside the building was told to shelter in place. Police, SWAT members, and the FBI spent hours negotiating with the man. Eventually, police entered the lobby and tackled him. He was taken out on a stretcher. No word on what prompted that incident. The Army Brigadier General, who faced criticism from some in Congress following the deadly collision over the Potomac River, is now no longer head of the Army's Central Aviation Office. Matthew Brayman will now serve as Chief of Army Enterprise Marketing Office to focus on advertising and boosting recruitment. The announcement comes exactly 1 week before the NTSB's 3-day hearing on the crash. Brayman is expected to testify in that hearing. 67 people died in January in a mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet near Reagan National Airport.
According to a new survey by Pew Research, half of teens say social media has a negative impact on their lives. As laws governing the use of social media remain stalled, the tech community is looking at ways to voluntarily get kids to put down their phones. Evan Brown introduces us to a new method.
It's hardly a secret that overuse of social media is harmful to teens, young adults, even older people. But there's no consensus on how to stop using it. Most laws restricting social media use have either stalled or have been put on hold by courts. Now tech leaders are working on voluntary ways to lower your screen time. And of course, there's an app for that.
They do know they like their phone, but they hate their phone. They do know they like social media, but they hate social media. It's like dieting. It's like food.
It's called Dayo, and it runs in the background of your phone, monitoring your social media use. You set your own daily limits, and if you stay under, you earn rewards. And there are no fees or mining of your personal data. Dayo makes its money by partnering with brands, offering exclusive deals to users who scroll less.
The brands get a new customer. You get to purchase a product without having to be bombarded by their meta ads. And so what we're creating is our version of a virtuous economic cycle.
It's part of a new holistic approach to keeping kids safe online, with a growing number of companies acknowledging social media is here to stay, but they can help people use it less and on their own terms.
We are going to have to face the big challenges of our time, and we can't do it if we're all bifurcated in our own little digital worlds. There is no community in that. We have to come together as a society, and the only way to do that is to get off your phone.
That was Evan Brown reporting. Today we're asking, how do you keep your child off social media? You can see the options. Do you block apps, bribe them with gifts, or provide alternatives? You can weigh in right now by scanning the QR code on your screen or head to WRAL.com/yourvoice. We'll share the results before the end of this newscast.
Take it, send them outside. It's a beautiful day. It's time to get out there. Let's go to the WRAL Gardens right now. Amy Wilmoth is there. Amy, I know you're enjoying this right now. I know it's hard to take the phone from the kids, but this would be one of the times to go outside and play.
That's right. Send them out today, send them out tomorrow, because dangerous heat returns over the weekend and you'll want to opt for some indoor things to do. Right now, it's really not that bad. 86 degrees in Raleigh. We have sunshine. It's warm, but it's not bad. The dew point is in the upper 60s in Raleigh and in Durham, 70s in many locations. So it's starting to creep up a little bit, but trust me, it is going to get worse starting tomorrow and especially over the weekend. So today is the day to get outside and do something outdoors and get some fresh air. Heat alerts right now, we are not under any, but the heat alerts that are west of us, they're going to be right on top of us over the weekend, and it could be as early as Friday that we're put in some of those heat advisories or heat warnings. So the two next weather makers, starting tomorrow, temperatures will still be close to normal, but the humidity will return in full force tomorrow. And then over the weekend, heat advisories are likely. Dangerous heat will be with us. It is going to be very hot. So try to get outside today. Maybe you could take the kids to Dick's Park. It's a good day to check out the sunflowers there. Beautiful spot. High temperatures are going to be close to normal, around 91 this afternoon. So it is still hot, but it's just not that bad, especially compared to what's headed our way. Dew points are in the 60s for most of the day, especially later this afternoon. We could drop into the mid 60s for dew points. So the muggy meter in the tolerable section today, we're back in the tropical category tomorrow, and that's going to continue through the weekend and probably into next week. Another outdoor thing you could do today is head to downtown Raleigh, live after 5, enjoy some live music. It'll still be very warm, but with those low humidity values, really not that bad. No rain in the forecast for this, but low 90s at 5 and then upper 80s at 7, down into the low 80s by 9 o'clock this evening. The intense heat is back starting Friday. Low 90s for today and tomorrow, so it's not that bad, but Friday 96, Saturday 99, Sunday 99, and some models are showing triple digits for high temperatures, especially in the Sandhills over the weekend. So these are the actual forecast highs. Everyone will be hot throughout the weekend, and I think everyone will probably be under heat advisory criteria. It'll be hottest in the Sandhills, but high temperatures very close to 100 in and around the Triangle as well. When you factor in the dew point over the weekend, it's going to feel like triple digits, perhaps 107 Friday, 110 Saturday and Sunday. So again, this is some dangerous heat that is headed our way in just a few days. So try to get out today if you can, or tomorrow. Just know that the humidity is going to be up a little bit, but I can tell you, I was talking to Chris Michaels this morning. Both of us plan to get our lawn work done this evening before the big heat gets here. 96 on Friday, 99 Saturday and Sunday. We do have some storm chances as we head toward the end of the weekend and maybe even tomorrow. I'll show you who could see some rain tomorrow coming up in just a bit.
All right, Amy, thank you. Cooper Watch. Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper is considering a run for U.S. Senate. Today on WRAL News at 4, emails obtained by our NC Capitol team suggest the Democrat just might have made up his mind.
Restoring and revitalizing. After years of failed ownership and controversy, there's new life coming to this theater off I-95. At 5 o'clock, what the steps are next for creating a once doomed entertainment district in Roanoke Rapids. Well, still ahead this noon, fake safety gear. That good deal you found online might be a dangerous dud. 5 on your side explains the warning from Consumer Reports about fakes being sold on major retailers' websites.
And passport power, where the U.S. ranks among countries according to Global Travel Freedom. A new investigation found critical personal safety equipment bought from major retailers did not meet basic safety standards. 5 on your side's Kelly Arthur has some warning from Consumer Reports about phony safety gear.
I'm in the WRAL Azalea Gardens with this important message. If you have a car seat or a helmet and it hasn't been tested with the minimum safety standards testing, there's really no guarantee that it will protect you or your child during an accident. And we found several instances of untested products being sold online.
Consumer Reports product safety experts recently bought 21 helmets from third-party sellers on Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Shein, Temu, and Walmart. 8 of the helmets lacked the required sticker or label declaring compliance with Consumer Product Safety Commission standards, meaning they didn't meet the legal requirements for bike helmets sold in the U.S.
When contacted about these non-compliant helmets, Shein, Temu, and Walmart took down the listings. The listing for the helmet Consumer Reports bought from eBay was already down, and Consumer Reports did not find a non-compliant helmet on Amazon in their investigation. Meta, the owner of Facebook Marketplace, didn't respond to multiple requests for comment. Coming up tonight on WRAL News this evening, I'm going to walk you through the telltale signs to look for to determine whether or not a product has been tested. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Amazon is buying an AI startup called Bee, which makes a wearable device that listens to everything you do. Bee's $50 wristband can analyze what it records to transcribe conversations and generate summaries, to-do lists, or other tasks. The device can be set to automatically transcribe audio, but can also be muted. Amazon has not disclosed the terms of the deal, but says it will work with Bee to give users more control over the devices. The United States continues its steep decline in the world's most powerful passport list. The U.S. now holds the 10th spot. It's the lowest our nation has been since the Henley Passport Index started tracking passport power. Even though the U.S. is ranked number 10, there are 33 countries with a higher passport power, that is, due to a few ties. The company says the U.S. is on the brink of exiting the top 10 for the first time in 20 years. Meanwhile, Singapore claimed the top spot. Its citizens have visa-free access to 193 out of 227 destinations around the world.
Officer injured. A van collides with the Raleigh Police Department motorcycle unit. What we're learning about the officer's condition and how this happened.
An increased cancer risk. Why medical experts say drinking could be bad for your health. And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen right now. Renee and I will be right back. God bless you.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
A Raleigh police officer with the motorcycle unit is recovering after a crash this morning.
This incident happened on West Cabarrus Street, just outside the Raleigh Convention Center. WRAL's Ken Smith is here now with what we know about the crash and how that officer is doing, Ken.
Jeff and Renee, this crash happened around 7:45 this morning. Police Chief Rico Boyce saying the officer was on a routine patrol Well, this is video of that scene from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see the officer's motorcycle laid down on its side. The crash also involved a Sprinter van. The department's accident reconstruction team are now piecing together how that crash happened. Chief Boyce says the Sprinter van driver is cooperating in the investigation. Cabarrus Street was closed for a time, but has since reopened. Chief Boyce talked a little bit about the injured officer's experience with that department.
He's been on our motor unit for a long time. He knows how to ride a motorcycle. He is, like say, a great officer. And from what I was told thus far, like say, he was not taking any enforcement action. He was just riding up Cabarrus Street just prior to this accident occurring.
Now, Raleigh police have not released the officer's name. Chief Boyce did confirm that officer is a 25-year veteran of the force and had been part of the motorcycle unit for quite some time now. Of course, Chief Boyce says the officer is expected to recover from his injuries. We will update this story with any new information during this newscast and, of course, online at WRAL.com.
Thanks, Ken. We're also working to learn the name of a person who crashed into a yard in downtown Clayton. That person was killed. It happened just after midnight, and WRAL's Kelsey Coffey spent hours on that scene as officers searched for clues.
Officers spent nearly 6 hours here on East Front Street investigating after that crash. Check out this video of the truck involved being towed away from the scene. Clayton police say the driver involved was killed. No one else was hurt. You can see Clayton Fire responding to the crash after officers received a call around 12:30 this morning. Video from the early morning hours showed that truck behind a utility pole after the driver ran off the road. Once officers were able to move the truck, they spent another hour investigating here on the scene. We're working to find out the name of the driver who was killed, as well as what led up to this crash. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Clayton.
A Durham couple wants answers after a hotel turned them away while they were seeking shelter following Chantal's flooding. Ira and Gwendolyn Montague live feet away from the Eno River. They lost everything in Chantal. After a few days at a Holiday Inn, Gwendolyn made a reservation on Priceline for Candlewood Suites. When the Montagues arrived, they learned their stay was canceled.
He said, "You're Gwendolyn?" I said, "Yes, your reservation's been canceled." I said, "What you mean my reservation's been canceled?"
Because I was saying, we flood victims, man. I mean, come on.
He had no compassion. It didn't matter.
And then he turned around and went on back
and left us standing there.
Gwendolyn snapped a picture of this sign reading "No accommodations for Durham County residents." WRAL reached out to IHG, that's the group that owns Candlewood Suites. A spokesperson says the hotel's policies are designed to reinforce guest safety and security. The chain apologized for the inconvenience, writing, quote, "We have paused our policy regarding local guests during this time to ensure the utmost care and consideration for residents in need."
And back here in the WRAL Live Center, the Trump administration says they are opening an investigation into Harvard University's visa program eligibility, marking the Trump administration's latest escalation against the college. No further details were released about the investigation. This is still very new, but the Trump administration first revoked Harvard's student and exchange visitor program status in May. That decision was blocked by a federal judge. In previous court filings, Harvard attorneys have said they have provided the State Department with all student information required by law.
Members of Congress are headed home early for recess, but instead of Republicans taking victory laps for passing President Trump's bill and new trade agreements, questions surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein files are eclipsing the agenda. The DOJ's second in command now says he will seek information from Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. Many question why she wasn't interviewed prior to her conviction. Others question the motive for talking now.
She obviously wants to be free, and she understands that there's opportunity in her in working with Donald Trump.
Also, newly discovered videos and photos shed new light on Trump's friendship with Epstein. Photos confirm for the first time that Epstein attended Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples. His attendance at the ceremony at the Plaza Hotel was not widely known until now. An archived video shows Trump and Epstein together at 1999 Victoria's Secret event. The event predates any of Epstein's known legal issues.
Transgender athletes will not be allowed to represent the U.S. at the Olympics or Paralympic Games. The U.S. Olympic Committee update does not specifically mention transgender athletes. Instead, it says its policies will comply with Executive Order 14201. That's the measure President Trump issued in February, known as the Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports Executive Order. The committee says as a federally chartered organization, it's obligated to comply with federal expectations. Alcohol linked to cancer, how drinking could increase your risk for 7 types of cancer.
And the pandemic aged our brains. Some new research that shows the accelerated aging from COVID. Our team is working to bring you exclusive stories. For coverage you'll find only on WRAL. Visit WRAL.com and search only.
A nonprofit anti-vaccine group founded by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is suing him. When Kennedy was head of Children's Health Defense, he filed dozens of lawsuits against corporations and government agencies, usually over vaccines. The lawsuit filed by the Children's Health Defense claims Kennedy has failed to establish a task force dedicated to making child vaccines safer. The head of the Food and Drug Administration says there are not any immediate plans to change abortion pill access. Some lawmakers have repeatedly called for the government to rescind a telemedicine policy for mifepristone and restrict distribution to in-person visits only. Last year, the Supreme Court declined to block the drug's availability, but left the door open for future regulatory changes.
Now, whether it's a glass of wine or a pint of beer, alcohol is a regular component of many social events. Doctors say many Americans, though, are unaware of alcohol's link to cancer. In fact, new research finds alcohol is linked to at least 7 types of cancer, including throat, esophagus, colon, breast, and liver cancers. While cutting back is a step in the right direction, doctors also say it's best not to drink at all.
I would say a sort of a modest to moderate increased risk for a lot of different cancers. When I say that, around sort of a 10 to 30% rate of increase.
According to new research, nearly half of cancer deaths globally could be attributed to preventable risk factors. Along with alcohol, smoking and obesity are among the other leading contributors.
Brain aging may have sped up during the pandemic, even if you didn't get sick from COVID-19. That's according to new research out of Britain. Brains shrink as people age. When gray matter shrinks prematurely, it can lead to memory loss or judgment problems. Researchers found a 5.5-month age acceleration associated with COVID. The study did not show whether the accelerated aging seen in people who did not get COVID would persist long term. People who got infected with the virus also showed deficits in certain cognitive abilities, such as processing speed, as well as mental flexibility.
Understanding natural disasters, how a NASA mission decades in the making could provide critical information about various hazards on Earth.
A mind of its own. A driverless taxi takes a passenger for an unexpected ride. How the company is making things right for the customer. Enjoy that dip in humidity this afternoon at a peaceful place like Lake Gaston. As we look live there, you're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. The formal investigation into the deadly 4th of July flooding disaster in Texas begins today. At least 135 people were killed, including more than 100 in Kirk County, where children's camps and RV parks were situated along the Guadalupe River. Officials plan to examine how response teams handled that emergency. They will also focus on whether the flooding disaster could have been prevented. Officials in charge of managing regional rivers, as well as the head of the state's Division of Emergency Management, are expected to testify.
Next week, there's a new program going up. A groundbreaking new satellite will be launched. It's a mission more than a decade in the making. NBC's Janine Donaldson spoke to NASA's Disasters Program Manager about what the launch means for us back here on Earth.
The countdown is on. On July 30th, NASA will launch its NISAR mission.
NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, have been working for over 10 years together to build this collective mission. So 2 sides of the world, 2 partners, one single idea.
Dr. Shanna McClain, Disasters Program Manager for NASA, says whether you're interested in floods, fires, or food security, there's nothing NISAR won't be able to inform. The radar mission has a satellite with 2 eyes that are critical for understanding changes on Earth.
One of the eyes is the S-band radar, a short band. This helps us see through cloud cover and tree cover and really understand what's happening on the ground.
Even seeing floods through thunderstorms. The other eye is the L-band or long band radar that helps understand changes happening underground.
We can get insights on soil moisture, which is critical for crop production, right? Is there enough water in the soil or are we in a water scarce environment? But it can also answer questions about landslides, earthquakes, and a lot of other hazards.
The mission will be the largest data collection NASA has ever pursued. We're talking multiple petabytes of data. For reference, 1 petabyte is 1,024 terabytes. Entire teams have been dedicated to answering the question, how do you comb through all that data?
There are a number of science teams that are working to build products, right? Like information, turning the data into actual insights and information that can be used.
She says all the data will be openly available on NASA's data archive systems, helping gain insights on how to recover after disasters and make communities more resilient.
Well, we've certainly been resilient with heat, and it's nice to get a break from that heat and humidity. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth out on the WRAL weather patio where it just feels decent. This is what summer should feel like. I get that it's warm. I get that it's even hot, just not extremely hot.
Right. We're right on track for normal today with high temperatures in the low 90s. It's currently 86 right now in Raleigh, the heat index 90, so that's not that bad. We've definitely felt worse, and we definitely will feel worse once we get to the end of the week. Right now, the dew points are in the 60s and 70s. 67 right now in Raleigh is the current dew point. It really doesn't feel that bad out here. 71, though, in Goldsboro, 75 in Clinton. So there's a little bit more humidity as you travel closer to the coast. A great day to head to the Bulls game. They have a home game tonight. The humidity will stay fairly low. 87 at 6 o'clock, 84 by 7, and 82 at 8 p.m. So pretty nice weather for a baseball game during the month of July. It's hard to beat that kind of weather. Weekend highs, though, 99 both days, so approaching 100 each day over the weekend. And the heat index will climb well above 105 for most of us. It could even get to 110 over the weekend. So I do think we're going to have some heat advisories. We're going to approach record high territory over the weekend. The record on Saturday at RDU is 99. 101 rather, and we're forecasting 99. And there are some models showing triple digits for the triangle, so we'll get pretty close on Saturday. Sunday, a forecast high of 99, the record 104. That was set back in 1940, a long time ago. So we're getting close, but we might not break the record on Sunday. Something you'll probably need to keep doing is watering your garden. We have small rain chances for Thursday through Saturday. Bump it up to just a 30% chance Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And we do have the chance for some rain tomorrow, and it's mainly in our southern counties. The cold front that moved through that brought us the kind of better weather that we're experiencing right now, that's going to lift back to the north as a warm front, at least making its way through our southern counties tomorrow afternoon and evening. So here's 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Southern counties, a few showers will certainly be possible, maybe some rumbles of thunder, and that will continue into the evening hours. And then that warm front fizzles out and our rain chances will fizzle out with it. But some of you could see some rain tomorrow. In fact, the southern counties, southern part of our viewing area, Fayetteville over to Clinton and just south of Goldsboro, under a low end risk for flooding. So any storms that do form tomorrow in our southern counties could produce some very heavy downpours, but many of you will stay dry tomorrow. Most of this rain will stay south of the triangle. We have just a 20% chance for rain in the triangle. For today, 91 for the high. The humidity not bad. There's actually a nice breeze out here as well. So try to get outside today. Even tomorrow, 93 for the high temperature, but the humidity is going to creep back up tomorrow. So it's not going to feel as comfortable. But then Friday, I think we'll probably be in a heat advisory. 96 the high. The heat index likely above 105. 99 Saturday and Sunday. The heat index well above 105, I think. And this heat, it's going to continue into Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 90s.
Thanks, Amy. Now, earlier in this newscast, we asked you, how do you keep your child off social media?
And we said provide alternatives was taking the lead because folks are saying take the phone away and go outside and play because it's nice out. No proof to that, right? But it is at 63% for providing some other alternatives for them besides bribing and blocking their apps.
Yeah, the continuous challenge of all parents, kids with phones.
I think I just got kidnapped by Waymo. Buckle up and listen to this story.
Yeah, it was an unexpected detour. A self-driving vehicle takes a passenger on a ride of his life. The company's response to all this right after the break.
And here are your winning Mega Millions numbers. We have 22, 41, 42, 59, 69, and the Mega Ball is 17.
We wrap things up with a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today. A busy road in Knightdale is still closed after an early morning crash off I-540 in Knightdale. About 5 a.m., a FedEx truck veered off the road, went down this hill, crashed on Linwood Road, and caught on fire. The driver is receiving medical treatment now. Both police and fire investigations are underway on that scene at this hour, looking for the cause.
Developer Kane Realty is taking a second run at a rezoning request to build taller towers in the North Hills area of Raleigh. The request would impact the intersection of Six Forks and Lassiter Mill. The company submitted a request in 2021, you may remember, to take towers up to 37 stories high. Kane Realty withdrew that application in 2023. People who live in that area say they still oppose the project. The company will share more next week at a neighborhood open house.
The search is on for a driver who slammed right into the front of a Fayetteville church. The whole thing's caught on surveillance video. You see that car lose control and slam right into Berean Baptist Church on Glensford Drive. The driver appeared to run away in the video. The church says no one was hurt.
A driverless taxi took a passenger on a ride he will likely never forget. The customer downloaded the Waymo app to get a ride to a convention in San Francisco. Well, midway through the ride, the car suddenly pulled off the street into a parking garage. So that's when the passenger started documenting his ride on social media.
What was crazy about this parking structure is I went from like normal humanity into robot world, self-driving vehicles going up and down the floors of this multi-level parking garage, parking itself, and I was in this vehicle not sure what I was supposed to do.
A Waymo representative was finally able to override his car and get it back on the correct route. Waymo says the vehicle entered the parking structure because it somehow determined it was the quickest way to the passenger's destination. Waymo did not charge him for the ride and did offer him 2 more free rides. We'll see if he takes them.
Our pet of the day is a stunning black little kitty. This is as elegant as her name suggests, Grace Kelly. Not only is she graceful, she's also down to earth and full of love. Grace Kelly is a social butterfly, adores full-body pets, will lean right into your hand for more, and she's also very playful. Wand toys are her absolute favorite. She happily shows off her moves right there. You can go to the Cat Angels website and get some more info on Grace Kelly.
Cooper Watch. Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper is considering a run for U.S. Senate. Today on WRAL News at 4, emails obtained by our NC Capitol team suggest the Democrat just might have made up his mind.
NBC News Daily is up next on WRAL, your next local news update in 30 minutes.
We're going to take our own advice now. Get off your screens, put down our phones, and get outside. See ya.